Think memorizing GRE vocabulary means learning thousands of random words? There's a smarter way. Learn in clusters. Instead of studying words one by one, group them by meaning. This method helps you understand subtle differences, recognize patterns on test day, and remember words much longer. Stop memorizing lists. Start building networks of meaning. The first cluster is all about praise and approval. Commend, extol, laud, accolade, and eulogize. These words frequently appear in passages about achievement, recognition, reputation, and admiration. While they're all connected by the idea of praise, each carries its own nuance and is used in different contexts. Let's begin with commend. Commend means to praise someone formally for an achievement, action, or quality. Example, the manager commended her for completing the project ahead of schedule. Nuance, professional and workplace friendly, common in performance reviews, recommendation letters, and official recognition. Formal, but not overly dramatic. Before you start using commend, watch out for these common mistakes. Misuse number 1, commending something trivial. Saying, "Gawan, I commend you for brushing your teeth today," is grammatically correct, but it sounds sarcastic. Why? Because commend implies that the action is worthy of formal recognition, not an everyday routine. Misuse number 2, commending natural characteristics. For example, "I commend her beautiful eyes." That's not how the word is typically used. You commend actions, efforts, decisions, or achievements, not physical traits. Misuse number 3, commending yourself. You might hear someone say, "I would like to commend myself for finishing the report." While it's technically understandable, it sounds unnatural. Commendation is usually given by others, not by yourself. And finally, misuse number 4, using commend for strong admiration. Consider the sentence, "I commend Einstein as one of the greatest minds in history." Native speakers would more naturally say admire, laud, or extol. Commend expresses approval or recognition, while words like extol express much deeper admiration. So remember, commend is best used for recognizing noteworthy actions, achievements, or contributions, especially in professional and formal settings. Next up is extol. Extol means to praise someone or something enthusiastically and in great detail. Example, critics extolled the novel as a masterpiece of modern literature. Nuance, strong and enthusiastic praise. Common in reviews, speeches, journalism, and formal writing. Often used when admiration goes beyond simple approval. More intense than commend and laud. Before you start using extol, watch out for these 2 common mistakes. Misuse 1, extolling ordinary achievements. "I extol my coworker for arriving on time." Why? Extol is a very strong word. Native speakers typically reserve it for exceptional achievements, extraordinary qualities, or remarkable contributions, not routine responsibilities. Misuse 2, using extol for mild approval. "I extol this restaurant because the food was okay." Why? Extol implies enthusiastic, glowing praise. If you merely like something or think it's decent, words like recommend, like, or praise are more appropriate. Next up is laud. Laud means to praise someone or something highly. Example, the scientist was lauded for her groundbreaking research. Nuance, formal and polished, common in news articles, award ceremonies, speeches, and academic writing. Stronger than commend, but usually less enthusiastic than extol. often used when someone receives widespread recognition for an achievement. Frequently appears in passive constructions, such as was lauded for. Next up is accolade. Accolade means an award, honor, or expression of praise given in recognition of an achievement. Example, she received numerous accolades for her contributions to public health. Nuance. Unlike commend, laud, and extol, accolade is a noun, not a verb. Refers to the recognition itself, not the act of praising. Common in news articles, award ceremonies, professional biographies, and achievement announcements. Often associated with honors, awards, distinctions, and public recognition. Frequently appears in phrases like receive an accolade, earn an accolade, or win accolades. Finally, the last word of this cluster is eulogize. Eulogize means to praise someone highly, especially when speaking about them after their death. Example, friends and family gathered to eulogize the former president at his memorial service. Nuance. Strong, respectful, and often emotional praise, most commonly associated with funerals, memorials, and tributes. Focuses on a person's character, achievements, and legacy. Can occasionally be used outside the context of death, but this is much less common. More personal and heartfelt than commend, laud, or extol. Let's quickly compare the 5 words in this cluster. Cluster number 2, criticism and disapproval. The words included in this cluster are censure, reprimand, rebuke, admonish, denounce, and castigate. These words all involve criticizing someone, but not all criticism is the same. Some words describe a gentle warning, while others express harsh public condemnation. Let's begin with censure. Censure means to express strong official disapproval of someone's actions. Example, the senator was censured for violating ethical guidelines. Nuance, formal and often official, common in government, politics, professional organizations, and institutions. Stronger than a simple criticism, but not necessarily a punishment. Usually directed at misconduct, unethical behavior, or violations of rules. Often appears in news reports and official statements. Next up is reprimand. Reprimand means to formally scold or criticize someone for wrongdoing or poor behavior. Example, the employee was reprimanded for repeatedly missing deadlines. Nuance, common in workplaces, schools, and military settings. Often directed at an individual rather than an organization. Usually involves a warning or corrective action. Think of reprimand as the kind of formal criticism you receive from a boss, teacher, or supervisor after breaking a rule or failing to meet expectations. Next up is rebuke. Rebuke means to express sharp disapproval or criticism of someone's behavior. Example, the coach rebuked the player for arguing with the referee. Nuance, direct and often immediate. Stronger than reprimand. Can happen in public or private, focuses on expressing disapproval rather than issuing an official warning. Think of rebuke as a sharp verbal correction that calls out unacceptable behavior. Next up is admonish. Admonish means to warn or correct someone in a firm but constructive way. Example, the teacher admonished the students to stay focused during the exam. Nuance, often gentler than reprimand or rebuke. Focuses on guidance and prevention, common in schools, workplaces, and leadership settings. Usually comes with advice or a warning. Think of admonish as a correction that says, "Learn from this and do better next time." Next up is denounce. Denounce means to publicly condemn or strongly criticize someone or something. Example, human rights organizations denounce the government's actions. Nuance, strong and public criticism. Common in politics, media, and activism, often involves moral disapproval, more severe than rebuke or reprimand. Think of denounce as saying, "This is wrong and everyone should know it." Finally, we have castigate. Castigate means to criticize or condemn someone very harshly. Example, the journalist castigated the company for its unethical business practices. Nuance, extremely strong criticism. Common in journalism, politics, and public debate. Often used for serious wrongdoing or moral failures. One of the harshest words in this cluster. Think of castigate as criticism with no sugarcoating. You're calling someone out in the strongest terms. Let's compare these words through everyday situations. A teacher says, "Be more careful next time." That's admonish. A boss gives an official warning. That's reprimand. A coach sharply scolds a player. That's rebuke. A government committee officially condemns misconduct. That's censure. A human rights group publicly condemns a policy. That's denounce. And if that criticism becomes especially harsh, that's castigate. Think of the progression like this: admonish to reprimand, to rebuke, to censure, to denounce, to castigate. The criticism becomes more formal, more public, and more severe.